I could never understand how you could let a wretch like me become sin that knew no sin. Father, I have sinned, and I know I told you time and time again that I would never put you back on that tree, but the cock has crowed thrice Christ, and for a few moments of pleasure like Peter, Father Abba, I have betrayed thee. It's like every time I take one step forward, I take two steps back and relapse. Condemnation and guilt, they run around the lanes of my mind like my mind is a running track. Judas is what I feel like. 30 pieces, my soul cries. This is my soul cry. See, I was mesmerized by her seductive words. Many strong men have been slain by her. My son, listen to her father's advice. All that get enticed and entangled in her web of lies are bound to die. Why didn't I listen? Blinded by lust, enchanted by her seductive walk. As her lip gloss glisten, my laziness has brought me to this place. Lack of reading, lack of worship, lack of prayer. I lost discernment, sleeping with the enemy. See, it all started off as an innocent Bible study. She was in the choir saying soprano, listen to Mary, Mary. I thought she was saved, couldn't recognize that she was on assignment. A wolf in sheep's clothing, her feet go down to death. She was designed to lead young, unlearned young men like myself astray to an early grave. Lord, forgive me as I pray. Would you be my potter? Could I be your clay? Father, make me over again. Father, restore my knees into the floor. I want to be this way, Lord God. Help me to hate what you hate. Help me to love what you love. Burn away everything on the inside of me, God. That's not like you. Hear me out, y'all. She was flawless. Smooth brown skin, jet black hair, brown eyes. She was the devil in disguise. She appeared as an angel of light, but her heart was corrupt, full of deceit and lies. An agent from Satan sent to plot my demise. Knew we were unequally yoked from the jump, but I was lonely. I enjoyed her company. Should have guarded my heart better. Christ, you all the living water, but my well is tapped out. My sin has caused my well to run dry. As a deer pants after the water brook, so my soul was thirsty for the true and living God. Give me to drink like the Samaritan woman at the well. I guess the saying is true, that you don't miss the water until the well run dry. And the grass is not always greener on the other side. Why did I allow myself to compromise? Another innocent victim to fall prey in the Garden of Eden. Why did I eat from the tree? Why did I cash in years of celibacy for a few moments of intimacy? You should not surely die. Did God really say the girl was fine? I mean, she was a dime, but she wasn't worth my salvation. I said the girl was fine, I mean she was a dime, but she wasn't worth my salvation. The serpent had me deceived like Adam and Eve. How did I wind up in this place? History repeats history. How did I repeat Solomon, David, and Samson's mistakes? Lord, I need your grace. Can't breathe without Can't breathe without you. Can't breathe without you. Can't breathe without you. Can't breathe without you. God, you're my oxygen. Can't breathe without you. Can't breathe without you, God. You are my oxygen. How did I fall for this trap? How did I fall for this trap? My son, listen to good doctrine. Listen to these words that I speak and take heed lest you fall. At the age of 19, I gave my life to Christ. I went back and forth, struggling with fornication, struggling with masturbation till I was from the age of 10 years old, struggling with pornography from the age of 10 years old, struggling with fornication. At the age of 19, I began to pursue Christ, and I went back and forth, struggling in this area. At the age of 22, I went to this nightclub and I saw this girl, and the Holy Spirit said, don't speak to her, but I spoke to her. And I was going hard for a year celibate, and my flesh got weak, and I fell into sin when I was 22. And it hurt deep, because I put him back on that wooden cross, and I pierced him in the side, and I put nails into his hands and nails into his feet for a little bit of pleasure. And I began to cry and tear, and I felt dead, I felt empty, I felt lifeless, and I wanted to die. I didn't think God would ever forgive me. And after that, at the age of 22, I said, God, no more. If sex is the only thing that's going to keep me from you, I don't want it no more. I don't want it anymore. At the age of 22, I made a conscious decision to stay celibate. And a year later, I found out that I was gifted with poetry, and I realized why God fought. Because the very area that you struggle in is your ministry. The very area that you battle with, one day God might be using you to testify to others. At the age of 22, I made a conscious decision, God, no more, I'm celibate. And I waited for 4.5 years until I got married. Maybe that's easy for you, it wasn't easy for me. And every day I have to make a conscious decision to die to my flesh. Because every day my flesh speaks to me, they want to call me back. Let me speak to you before we wrap up. You may even be married. The devil doesn't stop there. He comes and tempts you even harder. This flesh ain't no joke. It craves things that are so wicked. If you struggle in that area, I pray tonight that you realize it's not worth your soul. It's not worth your soul. Your flesh may get hot, but you better dive into that word and get sober real quick before the devil kill you in your sin. I remember when you used to be in love with me. Back when you used to read your word, you would spend time in prayer, but now you got caught up. And now you have no time for the Christ anymore. It's just routine.